Igor here from Rigor's Garage and Boat Basin. Well, we're finishing up, coming here. You can kind of see I got transom. This video is about transom bracket right here. We're finishing up the transom and installing the bracket for good. So this is what the video is about. Hope you like it. If you do, please like and subscribe, and of course, thanks for watching. Okay, here's what's going on with the transom. I'm putting gel coat on it. Makes it look better. Also, I'm taking the drill there with the brush and going over the bilge area. If you take a look, it's got years of dirt left behind by water. And I'm using the wire brush and the vacuum cleaner here, Home Depot's finest, and cleaning it out. And the next thing I'll do is put some more gel coat. I ran out, so I bought some more this morning, and I'm probably going to end up putting 2 coats of gel coat on this. This is the first coat right here. Okay. A little windy today, but here's the bilge with the first coat of gel coat on it, bilge and the transom. We got to come back now. This is non-wax gel coat, and I'll come back with gel coat with wax so it all cures up. That's the next step. Now I've put the final coat of gel coat on here, and it's a gel coat with wax. What I did, I've got something called sanding aid. Actually, I had a little bit of gel coat with wax left over, but the new gel coat I bought did not have wax in it. It's a laminating type of resin, and so you add something called sanding aid. And this pan basically holds 16 ounces. There's a line on the pan. It holds 16 ounces of gel coat. 8 of it had wax in it, and the other 8 was laminating, no wax resin. So I added 8 cc of sanding aid. It's basically 1 cc of sanding aid for 1 ounce of gel coat. I realize that's mixing numbering systems, ounces and cc's, but and that basically gives a final coat. And what this is going to do, for example, up here I use the gel coat with wax, and it's no longer sticky. If I look further down here, when you touch this, it's sticky, which is supposed to be. So there we go. I mean, this is going to wrap up the bilge, and I can get back to the console. I got the transom bracket back on, and what I need to do is put tape around the bracket, blue tape. I've got some caulk that goes in between there, and it'll squeeze out. And of course I want a nice line for the caulk. That's the next step. Put on some blue tape, take it back off, caulk it, put it on permanently. Okay, I put the blue tape all around the transom bracket. What'll happen is when I put the caulk on it, it'll squeeze out, and I'll pull the tape off and it'll give a good line. Next thing, pull this off and goop it up. Got the transom bracket on. I'm slowly taking the tape off where the caulk is, and then I gotta go and wire wheel some of the bolts that I put through. I wanted to make sure they fit the transom. Now I gotta reach in the hole there and put the nuts on the bolts. That's the next thing. See, when I put the bolts in, they got all full of goop. So now I got to take the wire wheel and get the goop off, so I can put the nuts and washers up. Well, Rigor here. I got the transom bracket on, but I had a little story for you. Did you hear about the priest that was a chronic sleepwalker? They believe he's just a Roman Catholic. Okay, so much for stories. Okay, so here's what I've learned about bolting on the transom bracket here. First thing is, these bolts, they're stainless steel, and they could have been a half-inch shorter. But on the other hand, they don't come in half-inch shorter links. Not as they get this long. So what I found, I would go and try to torque these, and I'm torquing them to 25 foot-pounds. For the bolts, I could probably go higher, but I don't want to crush the Kusa board, and so 25 seems about right. The other thing is, sometimes I will find that some of these don't torque, and so what I've got is these stainless steel washers, and I have to I'm close. When they measured the transom on this boat and they gave me the bolts, in certain cases, and I don't know what's different, I run out of the threads on the bolt. Otherwise, right here, when you put the nut on, so I have to add a couple of washers as spacers, and then they torque down to 25 foot-pounds. Other thing I'm doing is I've got several kinds of bolts here. Well, these are the normal kinds of bolts. The bolts that are on here right now are nylock, which means I don't need a lock washer. There's nylon that locks the bolt in. I don't have an example laying here in my little nuts and bolts box. So nope, don't have any to show you. Okay, so the bolts are in. They're torqued down. All I've got to do is run a knife along the outside of the transom. Put the transom on. I put tape. Here's an example right here. I put tape on before I caulked, and I've got to take a knife and run it along here. It mostly pulls off. Okay, there we go. But that takes care of that. And the other thing I found is putting these bolts on through these holes is a real pain in the butt. You've got to lay down on this thing. So what I did, if you take a look, there's two bolts on the outside here. And they're on both sides. Oh well, so much for tape. and I put those in and snug them up so that I can basically lay on the transom, because you need to stick your arm through here to get the bolts in. It's a pain. It's a pain, and some of the bolts, down there are, if you take a look in here, they're close to the bottom of the transom bracket, and trying to put the bolts in with the heads inside here doesn't really work. What you've got to do is you've got to put them in from the transom side. Normally, keep in mind, these are 1/2-inch bolts that go in a 1/2-inch hole, and it's not unusual. 3 inches of Kusa board, I got to pound them in with a hammer, and you have a hard time. The bolts are too long, and if you see the slope to the bottom of the transom bracket, it interferes with trying to get the bolts in. So you've got to put the heads on the inside and the nuts in the inside, and what you've got to do is you have them peek through in the transom bracket. You put the washers on, you give them a whack on the inside, and then you put the nuts on, and then you go in the inside, and I use the impact tool to tighten them up when somebody's out here. It takes 2 people to put this thing on, and basically to hold the wrench on the nuts, and while I sit and torque the bracket. But there it is. I still haven't taken my jack stands down yet, but the bracket's on. It's finished. It's caulked. Won't know if it leaks until I put it in the water. So take it from there. If you enjoyed this episode, getting the transom bracket on, it's taken a while, but if you liked what I'm doing, please like and subscribe, and of course, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it.